Hello, everyone, and welcome to session 12 of our Mummy the Curse, 2nd edition Chronicle, Oceans of Eternity. I am joined by some of my good friends here that are playing our merry Mirette here of Sechet, Tomos, and Nesret. And just to start things off with a little recap of how we've come to the precarious situation the Ret now finds itself in. The last time we had gathered, our mummies had been following through on a deal they had made with the enigmatic Arisen known as the White Jackal. The White Jackal would help the Mirette get back on their feet with secrets and supplies, but in exchange, the Mirette would have to recover a stolen chest containing a set of ancient stone tablets. But there would be one condition, that they must not read the contents of said tablets. After a remarkably thorough investigation, Armoret had tracked down the chest to the Church of St. Polyeuctus, where it had been taken by a mysterious criminal gang who left a calling card of a reptilian eye cartouche. They also learned that an individual known as Feridun was involved, perhaps the very same actor who had turned traitor against Tomos and his inheritor, Vitalius. The Mirette swiftly set off to St. Polyeuctus in search of answers, and arriving at St. Polyeuctus, the Mirette slid up to investigate. Sechet roamed the neighborhood to speak with the locals. She discovered that the church was well liked, and its opulent presence uplifted an otherwise struggling community. Nesret prowled the grounds of the church, discovering another example of the reptilian eye cartouche carved into one of the church's pillars. Tomos unleashed his utterance relentless horror to scale the church's walls like some horrific scarab and peer in through the windows above. He saw that the church was occupied by a lone deacon tending to his nightly duties. The Mirette elected to enter the church. Sechet and Nesret spoke to the deacon at the door, distracting him just long enough for Tomos to scuttle like the scarab he was underneath the door and up into the church's rafters. Sechet and Nesret spoke to Deacon, who went by the name of Celos, and he tried and failed to hide his knowledge of the gang of thieves from the Mirette. Sechet unleashed her utterance, the weighing of the heart, to mystically force Deacon Celos to speak the truth, whether he desired to or not. Horrified, Deacon Celos answered all of Sechet's questions, knowing full well the gang would likely kill him for divulging such information. Sechet learned from Deacon Celos that the gang had no name of their own, but those who knew of them called them the Lizard's Eye or Crocodile, most likely given the reptilian motif of their cartouche calling card. The gang had been using the crypt beneath the church to hide their stolen goods, and in exchange, the church received generous donations from the gang that kept them afloat when the church's patrician patron had passed away. Sechet felt the weight of her judge's hand rest heavy upon her. This transgression fell under her judge, under Nefertem's portfolio. Crimes of morally gray wrongdoings. The donations taken by the church had been financed by theft, but the church had used the ill-gotten gains to care for the community. Sechet knew that the verdict that Nefertem desired being guilty. And she also felt that it craved a cruel punishment for the deacon's brazen hypocrisy. Seshet pondered, and after a moment offered the deacon a choice of punishment: to strip himself of his priestly robes and live an ascetic life, or die. Unsurprisingly, the deacon chose life. Nefertem seemed...
That surprised me. So,
Indeed.
thinking how these Christians talked about how easy it is to get in the afterlife, they'd be more willing to, die for and meet God and whatnot. But apparently, it's not the case.
What a strange contradiction. Nonetheless, the deacon had chosen life, and your judge, Nefertem, seemed displeased at this outcome, yet not displeased enough to punish Seshet for this seeming act of mercy, at least for now. With the matter of the deacon concluded, the Meret ventured into the crypt beneath the church. Descending into the dark, the Meret discovered a nearly empty vault. Aside from the caskets set into the wall, only a few broken amphora were left, each leaking a viscous black liquid. Nesret ascertained that the crypt once held numerous items, but those items had been recently removed, judging from the lines of dust left behind. His guild senses also informed him that a secret chamber was hidden behind the back wall. With the help of Thamos, the two managed to find the hidden switch to open this false wall, revealing another section of the crypt. Here, they found the White Jackal's stolen chest, as well as a table filled with cryptic documents and smudged papers. Meanwhile, Seshet examined the amphorae and determined this ichor was actually a very flammable resin. Concerned, she began to search the crypt, only to hear someone entering the church from above. She managed to stealthily grab Thamos' attention as Nesret stuffed the secret papers into his robes. Well, Thamos and Seshet made their way towards the stairs in pursuit of this intruder. Nesret examined the White Jackal's chest, noting that the seal had already been broken, and took a peek inside to verify that the tablets were still within. A nearby casket rumbled and split open, leaking out a swarm of inky black scarabs that amassed into a strangely feminine silhouette. The shadowed apparition claimed that Nesret's life was built upon secrets and lies, and that the White Jackal had hidden something from them, and that the terrible truth could be found upon the tablets. Distracted by the voice emanating below and the intruder above, Thamos unleashed his utterance, the rite of the sacred scarab, vomiting forth a horde of glittering beetles to support Nesret, as he and Seshet made the decision to push on and confront this intruder. Upon ascending the staircase, they discovered a masked man spreading more of this flammable ichor across the church, with a lit torch in hand, and already the thick scent of smoke mixed with a faint aroma of saffron hanging in the air. Back in the crypt, Nesret grappled with this apparition's temptation to learn the truth, but ultimately declined. Disappointed, this scarab woman produced a set of razor-sharp talons forged out of the inky darkness and drove them through his guts. While the pain was fierce, the damage was more than just physical. A shard of his fivefold soul shattered like glass. He felt his pillar of Ren break, felt as the mystical energies leaked out of his sucking spiritual wounds. That is where we once again find our Ren. Caught between, well, I suppose you could say a rock and a hard place. Let us resume with the pair on top, or on the main floor of St. Polyeuctus, with Sachet and Tomos as they stare down this mysterious man with this amphore and torch in his hands. So, again, the two of you have crested the staircase. You've seen him spreading this flammable ichor. You can already smell smoke in the air. And again, as you lock eyes with him, you hear the pained sort of gasp of Nesret from deeper within the crypt, as well as the scuttling of Tomos's beetles as they rush to Nesret's defense. What do the two of you do as you see this stranger? What's your first reaction?
I'm trying to think. I guess set in a kind of like in a kind of imperious like tone, just quite simply orders the man to stop. Yeah, kind of like try to impose her presence into this scene and try to like, you know, just like through sheer force of charisma here, just like, you know, get him to stop. Like, stop this.
Okay.
What are you doing, Prez?
Drawing my dagger. Ready for a fight.
All right. So you draw your dagger, Thomas, and Sachet, you order this man.
Yeah, stop, you bastard.
To stop in his tracks, and this man here, you can't make out his face hidden as it is behind his mask, but he does stop his approach, shall we say, as he walks, spreading this resin about, and he halts for a moment, and as Amos, as you are stealthily drawing your dagger, you see the masked man. He too does almost the same motion, but I suppose you could say in reverse. The torch and amphore in his hand slowly come together as you see the wisps, the edge of the flame kind of caress the lip of this amphore, and you see the embers begin to jump over to this quite flammable vessel. The spark, shall we say, lit what do the two of you do in response?
I'll let you go first, Prez.
More pillar points, but I cast an utterance, my new one. 3rd tier of Shadow of Time.
What's that do?
Oh, some great things for combat.
Oh.
Before we get to that, well, actually that shouldn't matter. But let's go ahead and roll for initiative while we're at it.
Okay. I knew I should have picked up that Peacemaker merit. Initiative.
Wait.
Select. I rolled a 9. Plus 4, so 13. Actually rolled pretty good. We got a 16.
16, yes, for our masked man.
Much better than me.
I believe your utterance has some effect on initiative, if I remember correctly.
Let's see. Just pulls herself forward in time, seeing potential futures. Cannot suffer surprise attack. Defense is useless. I'm not seeing anything about initiative.
All right. Okay. Yeah. In that case, just go ahead and initiative.
Oh shoot.
You have the. But what's your bar at?
Yes.
Like,
I was thinking of the bar optional where it lets you interrupt the initiative. But I don't believe you have a full 5.
Nah, he has 4
I have 4.
bar.
I
Yeah.
have 4.
So close.
Oh shoot. Okay. Okay, that's the right initiative.
Okay. So 7 for. So with everyone here, begin. And it looks like our masked man is first on the draw as you begin to conjure the words forth. The masked man jumps. Not literally jumps, but jumps into action, shall we say. And without hesitation here, he hurls that lit amphora in your direction, Thomas. What is your defense?
Defense is. Oh, come on. Ow. Okay. Defense is 6.
If you want, I believe you can dodge if you really want to avoid that amphora.
I would really rather dodge.
Yeah, that's gonna eat up your action for your next turn. If you do that, though.
Probably better than getting hit by the fire.
Yeah. So what happens when you dodge? You double your defense, and instead of subtracting it, you get to roll it and apply it against the enemy's attack.
Lovely.
Is that what you'd care to do?
Yeah.
Alternatively,
I'd rather dodge.
you can also spend willpower to bolster your defense by 2.
Yeah.
You could also technically spend that willpower on the dodge as well to give you +3. If you really wanted to go all out on this.
You know what? I changed my mind. I want that action. I want to spend a willpower to boost my defense, though. So +2. That's a defense of 8.
8. I hope he misses you here because fire's not fun and pitch is really hard to get off of you.
Sure is.
Take that risk.
All right. So what did you say your willpower was? Or sorry, not your willpower, your defense with your willpower
8.
expenditure. 8.
8.
All right. So he's actually going to be rolling this at a chance dice here.
Oh, don't worry, he's gonna get a 10. I believe in him.
As long as he doesn't get a 1.
There's that 10.
There is that 10.
I called it.
And with with a lucky clip, this masked man just hurls this amphora in your direction, and it doesn't quite hit you square in the chest, shall we say, but it kind of careens and smashes at your feet, at the foot of the staircase here. And with that, the clay amphora filled with this resin, it hits the ground at your feet. Clay shatters, and this flammable resin goes flying, splattering in all directions. Little bits of flaming pitch flying across the church. But most importantly, most of these bits are within your vicinity, as the two of you here are together at the top of the stairs. So, with this, for this attack here, Thomas, you are going to take some damage here, unsurprisingly. In this case, I need to roll the force of the explosive here, which is 2 dice. All right.
Double 1.
Double 1, which is good. So it just deals the base damage of 1, and as in addition to the singular success that incurred on that attack. So in this case, seeing as this is an incendiary makeshift explosive, shall we say, that is 2 points of aggravated damage for Thomas as this resin clings to you and begins to burn your desiccated flesh. After all, you are a mummy. Your body, your cot, has been desiccated and dried and preserved. It's basically like one giant walking tinderbox. However, that is not the extent of this, as both you and Seshet are in the blast zone of this improvised explosive, shall we say. In addition to this 2 points of damage, both of you will be taking the burning tilt as these little bits of flaming resin cling to the two of you, which won't have any effect quite yet, but on your turn, you'll suffer 2 points of aggravated damage as this fire continues to burn, unless you do something to put it out. With that, let's see here. Seshet is the first up to bat here. So this amphora again is splattered at Tomos's feet, and some of this splatter has made its way to you as the two of you had ascended the stairs together. And the man still has the torch in his hand, you find yourself beginning to catch fire. The wisps of this resin just waiting to catch onto your vulnerable flesh. What do you do?
Yeah, I want to try to stop me catching fire. How does one go about doing that?
Sure. I'll go ahead and just post the blinding, or not the blinding, the burning tilt, in chat here, just so you're cognizant.
Oh, I'm also blinded.
Yes.
Okay.
Also blinded. Yes. But to end the tilt here, the burning tilt, you must take at least a turn to douse yourself in water or some suitable substance, or a bit slower, you can do the old stop, drop, and roll, which will lessen heat of the fire by 1 level of intensity until it's finally out.
Since we're in a church, and churches are known for having fonts of holy water in them, I'm gonna, try to put myself out using this using the water in the church here.
All right. So you kind of like, look about, and again, a bit, shall we say, complicated given the burning pitch in your face, as it were. Just make it just a bit more complicated. But I guess that's probably the most applicable. Why don't you go ahead and give me I want to say probably a perception roll, I guess, to try and find the nearest source of water here.
Now,
and I believe the blinded tilt gives you a -2 on this.
My favorite tilt coming back to bite me in the butt. Yeah, -3 penalty any roll that relies on vision.
-3. Excuse me. Yes. And this
sorry, it's -5 if it includes both eyes, I believe.
We'll just say that this is just one eye.
Okay. Well, I really like this fire to be put out. So I'm gonna spend a point of willpower. And do I want to spend I guess I will. I'm gonna spend a point of ab to reinforce my composure. Keep calm as using my affinity divine countenance. I increased my composure by 3, bringing it up to 5 composure, which I don't know if that alters my initiative retroactively.
I don't believe that it does. I don't think.
5.
I'm not entirely sure on that, but I don't think it retroactively alters initiative.
2 successes. Fire out.
Yeah. So despite the chaos,
he didn't do what I told him to do.
Yes, of the situation, you manage to, remain calm here, drawing upon the power of pillars to calm yourself enough to find a source of water, and you find it in the stone baptismal font near the altar, and you kind of like rush past the burning Tomos, and you kind of take the sort of bowl of water from the baptismal font and just kind of drench yourself, and perhaps breathe some small sigh of relief as you manage.
I'm not on fire anymore.
Yes, as you manage to kind of quash the fire before it
I imagine with like 5 composure, like she gets caught on fire, kind of just like sighs like a little bit, goes over to like it's like with like such almost inhuman composure. It to her like just outside observers, it just like looks like it's just like another day in the park for her.
A single-minded determination. But yeah. So with that, you've managed to put yourself out before this fire has fully engulfed you. But Tomos has not been quite so lucky. With that, what is Tomos doing? You've got this this kind of blackish resin, sludge, oil, whatever you want to call it, now coating your body, your cot, and burning you to a horrific crisp. What's your first instinct in this situation? You've got dagger in hand. You're on fire. How do you
Find water.
This?
Find water. So I'll be looking for a baptismal font again. Perhaps even just watching. Was it soaked up if you?
There's one baptismal font.
I used it, yeah.
And Seshet here used it. There might be other sources of water here, but again, that might require a bit of, shall we say, searching, and perhaps some small bit of luck. There's always the old alternative of stop, drop, and roll. Or you might just run at this guy and stab him. I mean, that's always an option. Who's gonna mess with the guy who's on fire coming at you? But regardless, you still want to try and search for some source of water.
Is this going to be a more difficult role if I do that? Than compared to Sheshet's?
Yes. In this case is sort of the like easiest, most available large body of water in this church has kind of been wasted already. You know, it's kind of forming this
That's a good use.
now pool of water on the floor, as it were. I mean, you could technically, if you want, throw yourself at the pool
Pool of water
beneath Seshet's feet, but that's more or less stop, dropping, and rolling with perhaps an extra step.
I don't know. Would that even do add anything to the roll, like to the stop, drop, or roll effects? I'm guessing not.
You won't actually have to roll for the stop, drop, and roll, but it will consume your action.
Yeah. So stop, dropping, and rolling reduce the intensity of the heat by 1 for every turn that you do it. And what would the intensity of the heat be? It's a pitch, so
Is a pitch. So I put it at intensity 1 for a torch.
okay. So if you stop, drop, and roll, then you'd have it down to intensity 0, but like you'd be on the ground.
But yes, you'd be prone.
I want to try something. I might see if I can stop, drop, and roll behind a pew, but I will do that though.
Try and like take stop, drop, and roll behind cover.
Yeah.
All right. So you, kind of fighting through the fire in your eyes. You kind of run towards the back of the church, kind of almost like diving behind one of the pews and start, rolling, trying to put yourself out, as it were. Indeed, you manage to smother the flames before they fully consume you. Though now you find yourself on the floor, prone, wedged between rows of pews. And before we get to the, shall we say, the next round of this combat, let's return to Nesret, who is reeling from the wound that he's just suffered. So this apparition, this entity, had kind of formed this sort of inky talon, as it were, the darkness, and again kind of just rammed it into your chest. And it's less the physical sensation that bothers you, but the spiritual one, as you feel this part of yourself breaking in response to this trauma. And, as this apparition kind of yanks the talon back out of you, that horde of glittering scarabs summoned by Tomos begins to scuttle its way into this chamber here. And in response, the apparition, this shadowy figure, almost begins to bleed. Say bleed out. That's not quite the right word, but just sort of it's almost evaporate. The ethereal, sort of inky nature of it, sort of kind of fading out into these kind of wispy threads. The scarabs coming in, the figure kind of phasing back out, and as it does, the feminine figure, now reduced to this kind of rapidly deflating, shadowy apparition, leaves you with some parting words. And she says, "I can only imagine the pleasures you've experienced throughout the ages. I cannot give your existence balance through pain because I can't inflict enough of it. But, oh, I will try." And one last sharp command: destroy them. And with that, you hear a rumbling from the room behind you, the main chamber of this crypt. And there is a terrible grating noise of stone upon stone. And as you turn about face Nesret, you see the caskets, the stone sort of sarcophagi that had been recessed into the walls of this crypt. The lids have now been pushed ajar, and these walking corpses begin to claw their way out of their makeshift tombs. Why don't you go ahead and roll me initiative as well? right. You're. Yeah. No, yeah, yeah.
Thing to do.
Yeah, there should be a button on the sheet. But I think it's 1d10 plus. Was it Dex and Composure for initiative? I believe.
It's a D10 plus 4
I thought
for me. Yeah, there's extra. I just re-rolled it.
All right. Yeah. Okay, so 14 for you, and for our small horde of undead, a measly 7. Turns out the shambling corpses are a bit slow on the draw, as it were. All right. So, let me go ahead and get you added. Sorry, onto the turn order here. Oh, it looks like both you and Thomas have tied. Okay, the zombies and Thomas tied. And you got 14.
Brains.
Shambling corpses. These undead. 7 and 14. There we go. A little mix up. Okay. So getting you into the action here. Our masked figure here at the top of the second turn. He watches rather dispassionately as the two of you kind of scramble for solace from the flames licking your flesh. With a sort of very methodical, single-minded approach. This figure takes a few steps towards the edge of the staircase, and you see he peers down below, and you can already, at least Sachet here, can see already the kind of trails of smoke of the flaming resin that had been cast upon the staircase. The masked figure simply peers down and seems content, I suppose. It's hard to read his expression when there is no expression to be read. But you see he kind of almost ponders for a moment whether to toss the torch into the crypt below, but changes his mind. And he doesn't actually come for the two of you. Almost an offensive level of ignorance of your position, of your power. This figure, again, brazenly ignores you, and he just takes his torch to the altar, and you see him just kind of calmly walking while the two of you attempt to put yourselves out. He's just kind of slowly moving about the room, setting fire to this, setting fire to that, ignoring the threat that the two of you seemingly pose. Either very brave or very foolish. But nonetheless, the room, shall we say, church begins to burn in earnest. Now, we return to Nesret. Here, again, you see this pair of corpses that have crawled their way out of their entombment. And more concerningly, perhaps, than these two thralls before you, is what stands behind them and in the room with them. You can see with your mystical sight, even in the darkness of the crypt here, you can make out bits of flame on the staircase descending into the crypt, which wouldn't normally give you perhaps that much concern, until a certain memory surfaces. You briefly recall Sachet making a comment about the numerous shattered amphorae that litter the crypt down here, all leaking out that same flammable black resin. And you wager it's only a short matter of time before those flames reach the abundance of fuel in the crypt here. But again, another threat stands before you, these two shambling corpses. Still reeling from your wound, what do you do? How do you react in this situation? Up against the wall, as it were.
Bye-bye, Xavier.
It seems he's decided to elect to
reposition himself.
Yeah. Phase out of existence. In response.
Maybe we go to mine.
Am I not here?
Oh,
Yep,
oh, hello.
We
He's
got him.
back.
All right, we got you back.
Got him.
I didn't know I disappeared.
Oh, all good. So, again, you've just been stabbed and threatened by this mysterious figure. You've got these two shambling corpses before you, and a flaming staircase, your only means of egress. And the sounds of some sort of conflict on the surface as the rest of your Moret struggles above. What are you doing?
I am grabbing the chest, and then I got another ins to use. And I will use my Raffled Desert power at tier 1.
What's that do?
With a point of add.
I'll let you explain it. Tell us
I
what your
unhinged
power
my
is.
jaw.
Yeah.
I unhinge my jaw and release a bunch of, it looks like red sands that will scour opponents. And for the remainder of the scene, I may direct this spray of sand as a ranged attack using a dice pool of Dex, Athletics, and Ab at a damage modifier of 3 lethal. No initiative modifier in a range of 20, 40, 80. Concealment offers no protection against the sandstorm, and foes struck suffer the knockdown tilt if the mummy achieves an exceptional success. The sandstorm may auto-fire at a short or medium burst, but the Arisen cannot attack with it in the following turn. In default.
So a recharge.
Following burst fire. Yeah.
Okay. So you go ahead and unleash the first tier of wrathful desert power. Let's see here, and you also said that you were going to attempt to grab the chest here. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. Why don't in this case we will say a strength and stamina roll as you go to grab chest here. It's perhaps just a bit heavy, considering it's a wooden chest full of stone tablets, and its size makes it a bit awkward to carry. After all, if you recall, those thieves needed a whole cart just to haul it over here.
Yeah, one success.
All right. A single success. So you kind of grab the chest here and kind of awkwardly heave it up and off the platform, as it were, and ready your wrathful desert power. With that, we will go to Seshet here.
Yeah.
Order.
I want to spend my turn just kind of studying this guy. He's acting very strange and odd, and it's intrigued her. Usually, when people are trying to kill her, there's a lot more passion involved. And this kind of like seems like he's disinterested in it all. So yeah, I'm just kind of like studying, like just kind of like study him and try to like unravel like the emotions behind what's happening here. And I guess like more specifically, what I'm trying to do here is I'm kind of like checking out his kind of checking out his like soul here with my like soul sight and trying to like figure out his hard shell exterior that he has.
Okay. So, that's gonna sound like a wits and empathy roll here. I'll have it contest. Well, I guess contested's not perhaps the right. Let's do resisted.
Penalized? Oh, resisted.
Yeah. A penalty, I guess. We'll throw a negative. Well, let me check his composure here. So, all right. We are going to go with a -6 here from his composure and from the fact that you can't actually see his face. It's quite hard to read someone's, shall we say, emotions when a face is not present, when there's no facial expressions to be read. All you have to rely on.
That is an exceptional success for me as wait, never mind. It's wits, never mind. It is a regular success with 3 successes.
Regular success with 3 successes. So
yeah.
You pick up on some things here. At least to the best of your recognition as you study this masked figure. 2 things come to mind as you spend your turn sort of just observing this figure as he sets the church ablaze. The first is that this at least as best as you can tell, this figure seems to have some, shall we say, familiarity with your kind. He seems to be, shall we say, unfazed and quite prepared, shall we say, for the situation. But more importantly, you also know that he directed that amphore towards Tamos specifically. And, I mean, admittedly, you got caught in the crossfire, or the explosion, shall we say. But the throw was very clearly lobbed with intent at Tamos, giving you the implication that there might be some connection there. If, shall we say, he was really just trying to kill the both of you as efficiently as possible, you'd probably just throw it directly between the two of you, try and catch both of you as best as possible. But it was very clearly aimed at Tamos. But more importantly, or at least the more intriguing sort of tidbit you get from studying this figure here is the sort of remarkable disregard for his own, or his or her own situation. This figure doesn't seem to have any real regard for their own personal health or safety, given the fact that he's stuck in here with the two of you deific, semi-deific immortals. And he's also setting the same room that you are all sharing on fire, which kind of includes him in this blaze. You get the intention he either fully intends to burn alongside the lot of you, or he isn't, shall we say, concerned about his safety for reasons unknown.
Does he have a soul?
So, examining this masked figure with soul sight here, yes, it does appear that this figure, as it were, has a soul.
Okay. Yeah. And I guess like the rest of my actions upon seeing that, I'm gonna make my way towards the exit. I don't plan on being in a burning church.
All right. So yeah, you study the figure, and you start making your way towards the exit here. All right. Let's see here. That's the end of yours. So let's.
These are the zombies on this.
Let's go with Tamos first here. Let's keep the action on the top level.
Okay, I'm pissed, to say the least. So, since I was rudely interrupted, I'm going to finish the utterance and get it properly casted.
All right.
And I will. Third tier of Shadow of Time. So I'm prone. Does that mean I have to take an action to get up, or?
If you so desire, you could just cast the utterance from the ground if you don't want to spend your turn.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do regardless. But I'm just asking for future. Since I'm prone, I would have to.
Yes, I believe standing from prone does eat up your action, but I can double check here.
Yeah.
Find it. Drop prone, stand up. Yes. Dropping prone or standing up are considered instant actions, so it would consume your
There.
So, just to clarify, so you're going to spend your turn getting up from prone, correct? Or are you casting the utterance first?
I'm gonna cast the utterance first.
Probably a good idea. Get that mystical defenses before you pop your head out of cover.
Yeah.
All right. Joe. Let's see here. Now we go to our company of walking corpses, as it were. Our two shamblers here, who start making their shambling approach towards Nesret. You know, you've got kind of one hand getting ready to, you got your hands, I should say, kind of hoisting up the chest here, and you've got your maw kind of building up towards, I presume, a mighty blast of desert sand.
Power energy.
Yes.
Sorry.
But the shambling corpses make their way over to you to unleash their wrath as commanded. Let's see here. What is your defense for Nesret?
5.
All right, a defense of 5, and they have. Let's see here. Ooh. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and roll for the first one here, and then I will roll for the second one. Let's see here. Right. So this is for the first one. 0 successes, and for our second zombie here, a single success. So the two of them kind of rush their way up to you and attempt to, well, consume you, and with their rotting jaws attempt to bite and tear your flesh from your frame. And the first of the shamblers fails to latch onto you, but the second one manages to capitalize on your condition, both struggling to keep the chest and struggling to keep the other zombie off of you, and takes a chunk out of you for, let's see, this will be two bashing damage to you.
How does damage?
So you should have
Three aggravated and
which is the
2 bashing.
yes, asterisk, and then the bashing is just a single slash on your sheet there. Oh, and that pushes you into wound penalty of
-1 to all
negative
actions
roll.
except standby
Yes.
rolls.
-1 to all your actions. That also, however, gives you a beat. So make sure to take a note of that. Though also do remember your healing factor. We do have a capacity for generation, shall we say? If I remember correctly, I think it's
One bashing a turn.
Yes.
Three bashing and one lethal if you seal the flash.
Yes. You can also spend a pillar point to regenerate even faster, but that will not affect the aggravated damage that you suffer from. Anyway, yes, that's it for here. As the zombies attempt to maul, and consume you, we go back to our mysterious masked man here. With that, he's set a good chunk of the room ablaze at this point. The altar, as majestic as the entire setup is, takes rather quickly to flame here, putting almost an ominous bonfire that burns beneath the cross that sort of hangs above this worship structure, as the flames begin to lick upwards towards this symbol of faith. And with that, the figure here begins making his way down the aisles, walking through the pews, and with Tomos still on the ground here, you see this figure. He just kind of, he sees you making a run for the door, but he doesn't appear to be running after you. He keeps a fairly calm pace. And you see him just making his way down the aisle, and he kind of holds the torch out as he makes his way down from pew to pew, setting this one on fire, setting that one on fire, this sort of slow, determined gait towards the two of you, or I should say towards Sachet, with Tomo still hiding behind the pews, as it were. At this point, the fires, the multiple fires that have been lit, are starting to consume the church here, and Saint Polyeuctus is now suffering from the Inferno environmental tilt, and at this point, again, a good chunk of the church is catching a blaze, and I'll post the Inferno tilt here again.
Thank you.
For your reference. But more pertinently, for everyone here, including our masked figure, everyone on the main floor of the structure here is going to take a -2 penalty to all rolls as the smoke begins to fill the room, and the temperature of the room rises dramatically. Even, from where you're at, you can feel the blistering heat of the omnipresent fires around you beginning to scorch flesh. And I don't think any of you have any merits to lessen pain or wound penalties that would apply here, right? No one's got iron stamina or living monolith, I believe.
I have iron stamina.
Oh, Oh, all right. How many points in iron stamina do you have?
3.
Well, in that case, you're gonna ignore. You're gonna ignore that. Or I should say, we'll ignore a point of that. You're not gonna suffer any, shall we say, pain from the fires here, but the smoke does make it quite difficult to act with any degree of clarity, shall we say. So, yes, keep that in mind as the fires begin to build and grow. Let's see here. After our mass man, it goes back to Nesret here, back in the hidden chamber of the crypt.
I suppose I could shout out to Nesret that the church is on fire.
I think that's fair enough.
Nesret, the church is on fire! Get out!
And Sachet, ignorant of the dilemma that poor Nesret finds himself in at the moment,
I will. What's my what's the auto fire attack? Does that mean I can attack multiple in one round?
I believe not exactly.
Yes, so it's a bit complicated. You can, yes, you can attack multiple people with auto fire. What does the text on your Wrathful Desert power list? Is it just because there's short, medium, and long burst? Is it? I think it's just long burst for
Short or medium?
Short or medium. Okay. In that case, auto fire.
Auto. What you doing?
I'm pretty sure they're short if they're attacking.
You can.
No, but that's like how many bullets you'd spend, not like what their range is.
Yeah. But you're not dealing with bullets, so it's not much of a concern for you. But I do think, what is it, with the medium burst, you need a turn to recharge, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I just need a turn to recharge.
Yeah.
After.
The medium burst will indeed let you target multiple opponents. It's a -1 penalty for each opponent after the first. And you roll against each target individually. However, a medium burst does give you +2 to the attack action. As you've, essentially, you're spraying and praying.
And you make one attack for each target, yeah.
Yeah, you said that.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. Whoops.
Dex. Wait, do I get any bonuses for the
+2?
Yeah, you get +2 for using the medium. However, you suffer a -1 for targeting one extra opponent. So it'd be a total modifier of +1.
So with the modifiers you have there, you're firing at 2 targets then?
I think.
I thought I rolled them individually.
Yeah, you have to determine how many shooting at first.
Yeah, and it looks like
I'm shooting at 2.
Yeah, so shooting at 2. Yep.
Okay. So yeah, that looks right. Got the wound penalty and the +1 from that. And that is, I think, not against defense. It's a firearm.
That's supposed to be a -2. Sorry. Did my math wrong. Because I got the -1 for my damage.
It looks like it already included your wound penalty in there in that calculation.
Oh, it does it automatically. Never mind.
Yeah, it's handy. Yeah, that is correct. A whopping 8 successes on the first thrall.
What's the
here.
damage rating?
It's 3.
3 lethal.
Yeah, so it's 11 lethal. assuming they take lethal damage.
And then, do you want to roll for the second zombie? Second shambling corpse?
So same roll at another -1.
Yeah.
No, it's the same penalty.
No, it's the same. Yeah, same
sorry.
penalty across all of them. You just roll individually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
5 successes.
So not quite as great, but still pretty solid. So a whopping total from this attack of, what would that be? 11 lethal on the first and 8 lethal on the second attack, as you kind of like, you know, you rear back, you've really charged up, you know, again, your chest kind of expanding as you just, you know, let out this horrific blast of sand. And you quite literally sand blasting these two corpses, like point blank. And you see as these grains of red sand like whip past these corpses. You know, it's like you're shooting sandpaper at them. You see their flesh like peel back, and flake and is just stripped from their forms. And let me see here. So we've got.
Oh, they those are exceptional successes, right?
And those are both exceptional successes. Which means
Should
that
they survive, they're knocked down. They have a
Yes.
knockdown too.
both of them are going to be knocked down here. So.
Disgusting.
a truly awe-inspiring burst from this right here. And with that, the two zombies are knocked back and knocked prone from the blast of your wrathful desert power. Wonderful. With that, we go to Seshet next here. And I'm presuming you're making your
Yeah, I'm
your
getting
way
out of here.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean for Nestor. With the remainder of your turn, I'm guessing you're breezing on past these guys. Oh yeah, I assumed, but I want to make sure.
Yeah.
So yes, you chest in hand, you kind of lumber your way past the now prone zombies, making your way up the now flaming stairs.
Don't forget to heal yourself a point of bashing though.
And yes, heal one of those points of bashing that you have taken. So yeah, now we go to Seshet here. What are you doing with your turn?
I'm getting out of here. I don't want to be in a burning building. Yeah, that's where I'm going.
All right.
Outside the doors. Are they closed or open?
If you recall, the sound that you had heard was of the doors closing.
I will start working on opening those.
Yeah. So you you go and you push on the doors here, and you do recall them being a bit difficult to, shall we say, heave before, as it were. But they're not quite budging as you give them a kind of sturdy push, giving you perhaps a moment of concern as these doors are not giving way quite like they should.
Okay. Is that my turn then?
Do you want to try and break down the doors, or?
I'm not. How difficult would I think breaking the doors down would be? I can't do any sort of strength buffing power since I use that for my composure. So.
You wager it's possible. Certainly, especially with 3 of you. But a big, heavy wooden double door of this size isn't going to break quite so easily. But it's certainly within the realm of possibility. But especially if it's just you, it might take some time. And given the rapidly declining state of the church, that is time you might not have, or is in precious supply.
If only this was Disco Elysium and you can talk a door open.
Yes.
But sadly,
that sounds like something that would be like in a changeling game. That sounds like something that'd be right up that alley. Making a contract with the door.
Yes, can you open the door for me? Yes.
Yeah, well, of course. Yeah. But anyway, what are you intending to do here? You do also recall, though a bit problematic, that Tomos before had found another means of, shall we say, entry and egress. There were the windows kind of high up looking down in the church, kind of situated around the sort of shallow dome that adorns St. Polyeuctus. A means of egress, but one you'd have to climb up and out. And I don't know if that's something more within your realm of feasibility or not, but decisions are to be made, I suppose.
Yeah, what would it be to climb the window? Would that be strength and athletics?
Yes, I believe climbing is strength and athletics.
Well, seeing that the door's not opening anytime soon, and we're kind of all scattered amongst the church, it's just that we'll make effort to go for the windows instead. Yeah. Any penalties? Oh wait, we've got the Inferno tilt, don't we?
Yeah.
-2.
And for the actual act of climbing, again, not super difficult. We'll just say -2 for the actual climb. So -4, all circumstances considered.
Oh.
Climbing a flaming, burning wall is a bit of an ask, but certainly possible.
I fail.
All right. So you give it
I tried.
a valiant effort. I'm guessing that was a chance die.
That was a chance die, yes.
Yes.
I'm not particularly good at those things.
But you give it an effort, and you kind of like start making your way up the wall of the church, and like as you like reach for the next handhold, you hear like the creaking of the wall above, and your handhold kind of gives way and kind of crumbles in a burning cinder, and you once again find yourself on the ground, so to speak.
I take 1 damage, but then I heal the 1 damage.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm not gonna do damage for that. Let's see.
Oh no, I was saying for the fire, it's 1 bashing to start off with from the pain and the smoke, and then for now until a few turns when it becomes lethal damage. And that's when it becomes problematic.
Yes. The on the next turn here.
Is it next turn? It's been. I thought this was my first turn with it on fire. He spent his turn setting on fire, and that turn gave us the Inferno tilt. And we're still on that turn, so it's still the first turn that's been on fire.
Yeah,
like the Inferno.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, next turn it's going to advance here. Wait.
I thought it was 3 turns for it to advance.
after 2 turns, any
Oh, it becomes 2 bashing. Okay,
yes,
yeah.
2 bashing.
After 3 turns, it becomes 1 lethal, which
Uh,
that's us being set on fire. No?
That is you being set on fire. Yes. So, let's see here. We go to Tomos now, who's cast that beautiful utterance. What are you doing with the?
I do have a question about how relentless horror affects me being prone.
Sure. Yeah.
Would it be able? It seems like I have a lot more mobility, even on all fours. Would I be able to potentially attack somebody while prone, given that, or is that not possible?
No, I do believe, regardless, you can attack people from prone.
All right, just make sure.
But let me double check the relentless. Or because what tier of that had you cast?
2.
Second
2.
tier. Okay. Full defense, scaling, shaken, immune to knockdown.
Woof woof.
Woof. Ignores Armac and leg rack. Let's see here. Let me double check prone. Because that might interact with that in an interesting way. If I recall. All right, never mind. I was getting that confused with the knockdown tilt, which is not the same as being prone. But regardless, yeah, you can certainly crawl on on the floor on all fours if you'd like, and get a swing at our fella here. Let's see here, and I think you can attack at the ground at a -2 penalty if you want.
Let's see, attack on the ground. Jeez.
You know what? I changed my mind. I'm gonna ignore your prone condition. I think prone and knockdown are close enough. I'll let you scamper on over him and attack at your awkwardly positioned limbed leisure. I'll give that to you for drama's sake. That seems a much more, shall we say, intriguing.
He does feel very driven towards getting back at the guy who just burned him.
Kind of like your limbs just kind of like pop backwards as you kind of like get up and start scurrying over. Yeah, literal double jointed demon over here.
Yeah, I want to. Okay, he's so mad he wants to disembowel this character with his dagger. All right, let's see.
All right,
Okay.
Attacking our masked man here. Let me double check his defense for you.
Actually, I believe.
Yeah, you have that.
I cast Shadow of the 3rd tier, so it ignores all of his defenses.
Yeah, beautiful.
So let's see. So Dex and weaponry, I believe. Oh, and specialty and daggers. So was that +3 die? If it's a specialty.
Specialty is +1.
+1. Just make sure. Okay.
Yeah. So you have fighting finesse, right? So Dex, weaponry plus specialty.
Yep.
Sorry.
3 successes.
All right. Okay, 3 successes. And what's the damage rating on your dagger? Is it +0 or plus?
I think it's. I think it's 0 at the moment. Or that's what it says anyway.
Okay, so just a small little dagger.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 lethal damage to our masked man here as you give him a good shanking with your drawn knife here. Yeah. With that, we go to our shambling corpses, who take their action to shamble up onto their feet, and begin their slow and ambling pursuit of Nesret as he kind of hauls this heavy chest up the stairs here. All right, getting to the next. This will be the second turn of the Inferno tilt here, as we go back to our masked man who has just been stabbed by Tomos. So you've shanked him. You got him pretty good. 3 lethal there. Not enough to say kill a man, but enough that I would give any normal person pause. But you surmise you're not dealing with, shall we say, an average person, as the figure before you hardly flinches even as you suck the knife out of the masked man's chest. And in response, he raises his torch at you and makes a swing. What is your defense?
Let's see. So with that Shadow of Time, I can add my bar rating to my normal defense. So I believe it's now 10.
All right.
Watch him get that another chance, eh?
Watch and learn. Let's see here.
Trevor's a master at striking through incredible odds.
Apparently. Yeah. Our fellow here's going to spend a point of willpower. And he's going to go ahead and try and stab at you here. And what'd you say your full defense was plus spa? 10?
10.
10. Right. All right, this will be at a single die.
One success, told you it happened.
A single die with a single success, and with a single-minded determination, and despite your prescience, it's almost as if this I'm not quite sure whether it's preternatural skill or preternatural luck or a mix of the two, but he does manage to catch you briefly with the torch here. Oops, sorry. Which is not going to be fun for old Tomos here. Let's see here, as that is 1 bashing from the, shall we say, the club of the torch, as it were, but more importantly, 2 aggravated damage from the heat of the fire as that flaming resin kind of sticks to your arm, and it burns, and you kind of feel little hunks of your dead flesh kind of singeing and burning off in the aftermath of an otherwise glancing blow. Is that enough to give you a wound penalty, or where are you at?
Let's see. So
Let's see. Oh, one
one
shy.
sheet.
Ah, shoot. Could have been another beat. All right. Regardless. Let's see here. So now we go to that's the end of our masked figure's turn. Got Nesret, who's at the bottom of the stairs with the white jackal's chest in hand. What are you doing? I'm assuming making your way up, at least.
Exiting the building. I am singularly focused on exiting the building right now.
So, you make your way up the staircase here, and you can partially, shall we say, make out the scene above. And, there's, bits of flaming resin kind of leaking down the staircase, as it were. But once you pop your head up onto the main level, you are met with the full fury, shall we say, of the Inferno now blazing around you, kind of smoke filling the main room of St. Polyeuctus here. You can already feel the heat of the fire emanating off the walls and the altar and the pews that are now being consumed. And just barely you can see again Seshet trying to scramble up the walls and failing, and you see Tomos locked in combat with this mysterious masked figure. What are you doing?
I don't think I'll be able to climb with this chest, so I guess I'll head towards the main door.
All right. So you spend your turn. You finish. Ascended the stairs, and you hightail it across the church, and find yourself at the threshold of the door here. Let's see here. So, with that, a double movement would get you all the way towards the door, but that would take up your action for the turn. Is that okay with you?
Perfect.
All right.
Yep.
So, no action. You spend all of your turn hightailing it all the way across the church towards the door, kind of breezing past this masked figure locked in combat with Thomas. So, that brings us now to Seshet.
Yeah. I'm not liking how the progress on the window here is going, so I'm gonna make my way back to the door and help Nesret try to open it up, since it looks like we have another person here. Yeah. Would it be a strength and stamina roll to break the door down?
Yes, I believe that's the traditional roll for breaking through structures. Are you doing this yourself, or are you trying to set up a teamwork action with Nesrid? Both are perfectly valid.
I think I need to buff myself a little bit before I can break down this door. Is Nesseret particularly strong?
No.
Okay. Well, you're probably stronger than me. I got like 2 strength. So I'll probably aim at helping you instead. So I'll roll my 4 dice. I get 1 success, so when you go to break it down, you'll get 1 extra die from me.
All right. Setting up some teamwork here. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, we fall
Oh.
back. Oh, sorry.
Would I have had the penalty on that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's still
So-
the old negative.
Yeah.
here.
I guess I'll re-roll that. Still 1 success.
All right. Excellent.
Cool.
And let's see here. And this would be.
Turn 2. So I take 2 bashing.
Yeah. Two.
And then I heal 1 bashing, so I'm on 1 bashing. Then.
Yeah. So go ahead and mark another point of bashing on Nesseret as well. As you'll take 2, heal 1. As that burning smoke starts to singe the inside.
I reduce fire damage.
Oh. By what?
Are you using what is it?
Enduring Flesh.
Uh,
Enduring Flesh.
let's see.
What's that
Oh,
do?
it's just reduces aggravated.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna say,
that-
yeah,
oh,
you.
that
I was gonna say, yeah. I think that just reduces straight from fire. You haven't quite hit the on fire state yet.
Okay.
But that will come in handy, especially considering next turn. But anyway, where were we? Tomos, I believe, right?
Yeah.
You just stuck our masked man here. Gave him a good stabbing, but he's still coming.
He better be taking this bashing damage as well.
Sure he is. He's suffering just as much as y'all are.
I believe. I probably noticed Nesseret and Cheshit at the door, right? Or do I need to make a?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to quickly yell at my scarabs to attack the Burning Man. And I'm going to run and try to assist with breaking it down.
All right. So the scarabs, you order them to pull away. They cease eating at the zombies down below, and come up into the chamber, as it were, and you direct them at the man here.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see here. With that, and that is a right of the sacred scarab, correct?
Yes. Correct.
All right.
3rd tier.
3rd tier. Do they have speed?
Let me look. Right down the sacred scarab.
But I guess, well, you can direct them telepathically at a reflexive action. But
Ribbon at victims in the form of a swarm environmental tilt. Swarm size equal to the twice her Sekhem and Ka. Directs the swarm.
So, I'll say that they can reach up here. I mean, they're flying. So, yeah. They cease their endeavors. With the assisting Nesret with the zombies, and make their way up to attack our masked man here. And what is it? 1 bashing per turn to all targets in their radius. So they descend with their furious hunger upon the masked man and begin biting and tearing at his flesh, trying to crawl underneath his vestments, his armor. Aside from that, given that that's just a reflexive action on your part, what are you doing with your actual action?
I wanna. Assuming we're having. Ness should actually try to break down the door, right?
I believe that is the.
Unless you're stronger.
I only have 2 strength.
So unless you guys are like shouting at each other, there's probably not a great deal of communication happening here in a burning building.
Well, I may.
Well, we're all probably just doing the same thing of trying to push and break open the door. So
That's basically what he.
Yeah.
You
That's
don't
basically what he would be
need
doing.
communication for that.
It's not advanced kind of coordination. It's just
it's more of
break the door down.
Yeah, it's more of you can hear them banging on the door. Trying to break out.
Probably not arguing semantics over
Yeah.
who's going to be leading this role.
Yeah, sorry, but anyway, I'll assist regardless.
Strength and
strength.
stamina.
And I'm gonna throw my last willpower point onto that. So 3. 4 successes.
You get 5 extra dice on his roll.
Oh.
Zombie time.
So
Solid.
break it down.
Yeah. With that, some solid rolls there. And we go to our corpses that had just, righted themselves, and are now, ambling their way up, and they ascend the staircase here, coming out of the crypt, out of the pan and into the fire. Though, of course, the zombies are unfazed by the conflagration, heading after the lot of you with a single-minded pursuit. And it's not quite enough for them to actually attack you this turn, but they are rapidly closing in. Location. Let's see here. And they're going to suffer from the as well. Okay. And now we go back to our masked man. As the inferno here reaches a blazing crescendo, you can hear the sort of creaking and groaning of the building as the flames lick up and into the structure itself. You can kind of hear the beam starting to crack and heave under the weight of the structure as it struggles to kind of hold its own opulence as its foundations crumble beneath it. And with that, the flames now fully consume the room here, and even our masked man is not safe from the conflagration here, and he as well takes a point of lethal damage as the fire burns him. Let's see here. And for his turn here, he has a rather, shall we say, pesky swarm of glittering golden scarabs thwarting his every move here. Let's see here. What is the size on your swarm here?
Let's see. It said.
Does it list a size on the?
Yeah,
on
it
our
does. It's a combination of it's twice my sechem plus ka. So let's see. Sechem is 7.
That'll determine its hit points, like essentially.
Yeah. Let's see. My ka is 1, so 8, so 16. The size is 16.
So it is size 16. Let's see here. And each point of damage inflicted by a valid attack, which would be area of effect, such as fire, cuts the swarm's size in half. So he is again going to attempt to swat at your swarm here with his torch, trying to get some measure of clarity as he's now quite thoroughly distracted, not just from the smoke and the fire providing that penalty, but the swarm as well provides its own -2 penalty. So he's going to swing at the swarm with a whopping -4 to hit as he kind of just swings the torch about, trying to catch your beetles in the.
Let me guess, he'll hit.
In the flames path. We'll see.
Just watch
here.
him hit.
So a -4. He's not going to spend willpower on this. Let's see. 2 successes on this hit here. So he is going to see each point of damage reduces the swarm's size in half. So it's 2 points of damage from the flame, as it were. So that gets cut in half and then in half again. So we go to 8 and size 4, but the swarm is still there and it's still bothering him. So little difference to be had, though the swarm is a bit smaller than it once was. Let's see here. And that is it for our masked man. We go to Nesret now with
Go Nesret, break that door down.
You got 5 die.
What's the roll?
It's going to be
strength and stamina.
Strength and stamina. I think you have plus 5.
Plus -2 from the fire.
And -2 from the
He's
fire.
got Demolish and Merit.
That will let you ignore
The Demolisher ignores 3 dots of durability.
of durability.
Yep. Did you want to reinforce your strength for this with a pillar point?
No. So I have a -2.
It gets overall. It becomes a +3.
Whatever, I can burn out my pillar points.
Hmm?
I'll do that. So I got a -2.
Minus
-2
2
from
and
fire.
+5, so total of +3 altogether.
So -3 because of my wounds. And I
Oh.
reinforced it. So
Oh, yeah, 'cause you're at,
-3,
negative-
2. Yeah, and how much is reinforcement?
At this.
It's +3.
Yeah, +3 at this.
+3. So I'm back up to 5. I got 5.
5 dice?
Because what's your strength and stamina?
Oh. He has 1 strength and 2 stamina. He's weaker than the rest of us, so didn't quite realize
But
that.
I got the demolisher though.
But yes, that is arguably more helpful. As you're going to ignore that. So, yes, we have a base pool of 3, and you're reinforcing, which would bring you to 6 base.
4 strength.
Yeah, it evens out. I have 3 reduction and 3 plus.
Yeah.
So I got 3 successes.
Okay. All right. So 3 successes. So you go ahead and give this door a mighty shove here. I'm guessing you're probably setting down the chest to put your back into this. Yeah, I'm assuming you're not like bashing the door with the chest. Might be a little
Goes against the demolisher.
yeah, just a little questionable. Let's see here. So against the durability of door here. So we have side. Oh, so you're going to ignore all of the door's durability, and you get to apply that damage directly. Let's see. Unfortunately, it's not quite enough to bash the door fully open. But you reckon one more solid hit is going to break this thing. To the best of your well-attuned architectural expertise, shall we say. And with that, let's see here. That means at the 3rd turn of this conflagration, you take a single point of aggravated damage as the fire begins to lick at you as well. And with that, as the fires begin to reach the door, you're all throwing your weight against this thing, and it's heaving, it's groaning. You can hear the wood start to splinter and crack. It's not quite enough. It's almost there. The zombies shambling towards you, even though the masked man soon to be done with a temporary distraction. Things are looking grim. But we'll see where that takes us after we take a brief little break here. So we'll be back in just a couple minutes here, and we'll find out if our Moret can make it out of this burning church alive. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a couple minutes here. right. And we back. So, where we had last left off here, things are looking fairly grim. The church is collapsing in upon itself, the flames licking at our Moret, zombies in hot pursuit, and our mysterious masked man not far behind him. And the Moret throws themselves at the heavy set double doors of the church, making slow and painful progress as the doors bend and crack but do not break. And Nasret, as you throw yourself against the double doors, you feel them bulge, you hear the creaking of the wood. Something familiar rises to the surface. A memory begins to worm its way into consciousness at the worst possible time. But familiar circumstances breed a sense of deja vu, I suppose.
Deja vu.
The memory that you had earlier continues. The memory that you'd first experienced gazing at the Hagia Sophia when you determined that as the city burned, this church would burn as well. What's one more fire added onto the pile? What's one more spark amongst a already raging inferno? After all, you were destroying, in your opinion, a heretical monument to the blasted faith of this modern age, this defiant upstart against the one true religion, against the gods of Arem, the judges, and those nameless entities. You set fire to that building, and standing in the Gustion, you watched it burn. And when you had stood outside St. Polyeuctus, that memory continued. You reveled as the structure caught flame, as your handiwork did its task, oh so wonderfully. And then you heard a scream. You watched that church. More screams echoed forth from that building. Screams became pounding. Screams melding into a horrific mass of pain and suffering. And you realized in that moment, as you watched this structure burn, as it began to collapse in on itself, as this church does now, you realize that many of the citizens of the great city of Constantinople had at some point taken shelter. The church taking shelter under the roof of their fate, or of their faith. And now you watch and listen as The flames are, they're indiscriminate. They care not for what they touch, only that they continue to feed, continue to burn, and even in this house of God, to use heretical God, they're not safe from the flames, from the blaze. Their God does not swoop down to shelter them from your wrath. No flight of angels to whisk them away to safety. Only the screams of the damned as the structure burns. And as you watch this unfold, even in your cold, dead heart, there is perhaps some shred of empathy left in there, even for heretics. Perhaps. Perhaps. You ask yourself in that moment a question of heart, I suppose. You've done as you wanted. The building burns, and soon it will be no more. But do you condemn these heretics to die as well in that moment? Or does some shred of empathy compel you to try and free them, although such a task would no doubt bring yourself to great harm, drawing yourself towards those dangerous flames, a danger you remember all too well now as these flames lick your body and reduce you so quickly to ash and cinder. But your memory is faulty. Question to ask of you in this moment as you grapple with this decision. What do you think that Nesret would have done in that situation? Do you think that you would let the heretics burn alongside the monument of their faith? Or would you even consider the thought of risking your own life and limb to save those heretics in your eyes? What do you think? What do you believe that you would have done as you struggle to recall the scenario?
Being the fact they spread what I deem to not be the truth, I probably would have let them burn. It goes against my very judge.
And whether or not that is true is yet to be seen. But memory is easily, shall we say, swayed. And indeed, as you suggest, what you think of yourself flavors, shall we say, your memory of the event. And there's some, shall we say, sick irony in this as you watch the church burn and collapse in upon itself, as Dozens of voices are silenced in the great cacophony of this monument of the faith collapsing in on itself. It seems all too personal, perhaps, as now you find yourself, by some sick twist of fate, in the same situation, but with the roles reversed. And perhaps you wonder, would anyone even bother to save you? And with that, grappling with the irony, the sick twist of fate in this moment, let us go to Sachet. As you kind of see this like hesitation on Nesret. You know, he's kind of zoning out for a second in these critical few moments here. What are you doing, Sachet?
Noticing that my own contributions to the door were rather minimal, I will focus on making my teammates focus on the task at hand that little bit better, and will put her hand on Nesret here, and also look towards Thomas and say, I believe that you two men have the capability of breaking this door down. Now, in the name of RM, do it. And I will try to inspire them to greater heights of success.
Yes. Give me that. Give me that. Was it presence and
expression?
Yes.
That gives me a base of 11, and I have a -1 for having a small group of listeners, and then a -2 for the whole fire and smoke. So it gives me 8 dice. 3 successes. And that's an exceptional success, by the way.
All right.
Oh wait, let me double check my divine countenance and how that works again. Let's see. Oh, it has to be that specific social attribute. Okay, never mind. Just regular 3 successes.
Still inspired for our
inspired. Yes. Please break that door down.
Please. Please. All right.
That door stands no chance, and I take a point of aggravated.
And you take a point of aggravated, yes, as the flames begin to lick at your heels as well. All right. We go to Thomas now. What's Thomas doing? Are you continuing to
breaking the door down?
Yes, aid in this endeavor. All right.
Let's see. I will also use one of my pillar points to boost my stamina attribute. Sorry, I'm looking here. How much does the attribute get boosted?
+3.
+3. Thank you. And I forgot, how much is the inspired?
Inspired will give you exceptional on 3.
Oh, exceptional on 3. Okay.
If you get 3.
Yes. I also get you a point of willpower back.
Yeah, that too.
Wait, 2? 2 willpower?
No, it gives you a willpower back 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sorry.
Well, in that case, I might... Oh, to hell with it. I need this door broken. I'll spend that willpower. So...
Yes.
6.
Inspired by Sisset, you come to find yourself at new strengths.
At this point. Are you kidding me?
A single success here. Well, you don't have to expend the
well, he said he spent the willpower, so he had to resolve the condition.
Yeah, shucks. Okay, disappointing. Fate again, not being kind to our Norette here. It is a cruel, cruel mistress. Let's see here. So, but nonetheless, at least it's something.
So, something to know here. Since you increased your stamina, that increases your health. So you would get rid of that one wound penalty. That would have brought you up enough to avoid the wound penalty there.
Oh, that is true.
So if you want to roll one extra die,
What the heck?
hey, you might get 210. No. Okay.
Nope.
Ah, shucks. At least you've gotten one. At least you've gotten something here. As it becomes increasingly more, shall we say, difficult to deal with the situation at hand. The flames becoming an ever more present threat to the lot of you. And indeed, you do have a little extra stamina, shall we say, to buoy your health. But you do take another point of aggravated damage on this turn, as these flames continue to consume everything in their path, as well as your swarm of scarabs were not safe from the fires raging around them either, and their size continues to shrink here now to 2. And with that, we go to our corpses that are drawn towards the sound of Seshet as she makes her impassioned speech to the Moret here, and they throw their rapidly incinerating bodies towards Seshet. What is Seshet's?
My defense is 6, and they have a -2 because of the fire.
They
Whatever
sure do.
wound penalty they might have.
Yeah. So they are. Let's see. So you. What did you say your defense was? Sorry.
6.
6.
Oh wait, no, I'm looking at wrong character sheet. It is 4.
Defense of 4, and they have 2 from the Inferno. So -6 on their roll here. Let me go ahead and put. Double checking. Oh yeah. So first one is gonna be at 4 dice here. So 2 successes, and the second one follows up with.
How much damage is that?
It'll be 3 points of bashing as it bites at you. And
Hey, it's a beat.
hey, beats. Sweet,
Yeah.
sweet, delicious beats.
Oh wait, I would have taken another point of bashing and healed another point. All right, there we go. Oh wait, no, I wouldn't have.
No,
Never mind.
we've moved on to full fire at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, full fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that bashing back.
Yeah. And for the second one,
Actually, I would have healed that bashing. Yeah.
second one here,
Actually,
be at 5 dice as your defense is reduced from our second attacker. And he also gets 2 successes, so 6 bashing damage altogether as the 2 shambling, now flaming thralls, disregarding their own sense of safety and security, throw themselves at you and begin to tear at your flesh. All right.
they take a point of aggravated.
And they too begin to burn here. They are not safe from this inferno either. So with that, we move back on to our last man, who is still dealing with this pesky swarm of scarabs at his face. That is now rapidly shrinking here. Let me see. He's all right. So he is going to make another swing at our swarm of Thomas's scarabs with his torch. And this will be again at -4 as he's both distracted from the scarabs buzzing around him and the fire. So he is going to here to try and hit and gets a singular success. He manages to ultimately disperse Tomos's swarm of glittering golden scarabs. The last of them kind of crumple and wither and fall to the ground from the combined onslaught of his torch and the wisps of flame flying about the burning room, and they all kind of are slowly kind of pelting to the ground and burn. And with the last of his movements, the masked man just again fires, starting to like make his way up his robes, completely unfazed by the fact that he's actively dying. Makes again slow, steady, determined pace as he strides towards the lot of you, torch in hand. And on that ominous note, as the masked man makes his approach drawing all too close, we go back to Nesret, who's just grappled with a horrific vision, but he is brought back into the moment by the frantic and inspiring words of Seshet, urging him to action as each second matters, as the flames grow higher and higher. Can you break the door down?
Well,
Go Nesret. Go Nesret. It's your
pretty
birthday.
unlikely. Being my bonuses and negatives cancel out.
If you resolve the inspired condition, it gives you a point of willpower that you could use here.
Rolled 1 success.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, a singular success, and ignoring our durability here, Nasrat gives one more good heave, good shove against the doors of the church here. And with that, the great double doors groan and crack, and finally burst open, leaving a small means of egress from this chamber. And you see now that someone had bolstered the door, had attempted to barricade it from the outside, attempting to trap you inside the structure here. And more than that, you have this means of egress available to you. I'm assuming you're just rushing through at the first opportunity.
I gotta pick up the chest.
Yes. Why don't you give me another strength and stamina roll here? And you can use that inspired if you get that was it the willpower point.
Willpower.
Sure, I'll do that. So I don't have any bonuses unless I use the willpower, right?
So you don't get so to get the willpower, you have to resolve the condition, which you can do like this check here. You can spend that willpower on the check, and if you get 3 successes, it's also exceptional.
So if you want, you can spend the willpower you would gain from this condition on the roll itself.
Yeah.
If you want to use it immediately,
I'll do that. Why
I'll
not?
permit that.
Oh, exceptional!
Oh, a beautiful, exceptional success, wasting no time whatsoever, and with a newfound sense of strength, Nesret, you just grab this chest and like it's nothing. You haul this thing and come bursting out the door with the chest in tow. And let's see here. Well, seeing as Sachet and Tamos are next up on the list here, I'm assuming you guys are probably going to do the same. And
I will leave.
Yeah.
make a rapid
They can let the fire take care of the rest.
make a rapid egress. And indeed, the two of you do. And as the lot of you flee with with the chest in tow, you'll hear a voice emanating from the structure itself. And for any of those that take a quick peek behind them as they flee, you see the two undead and the masked man standing at the threshold of the church. Not outside of it, but within it. And the masked man speaks for the first time. And it's rather terse. But what you hear is this individual. He says rather bluntly, "Consider this a warning." And he watches as you flee. And you hear the croaking, the groaning of the structure. And it can bear the weight no more. This once pillar of the community is no more. The building collapses. And for those of you that permit one last fleeting look, You see the masked man and the two corpses never leave the structure. They just watch as you flee with lives, as you pat the last burning cinders off of yourselves, trying to hold on to your precious immortality for a while longer. And he never breaks that eye contact, even as the building collapses on top of him, crushing all three of them in one brief instant. With that punctuating sound throughout the night, that's no doubt going to draw a great deal of attention. What do the three of you do, given this? What do you do? Where do you head next as you ponder all of this?
I don't know about my companions, but I want to go back to our tomb to get some pillar points back.
Boom.
Doom. And then we can go back to the White Jackal and jump this box off his feet.
Works for me. I may... When we get to... you know what? I'll wait till we get to the tomb for this next thing.
Sure. So, it is a bit of a solemn affair, I imagine. A lot of you making your way back to the tomb. All of you in somewhat poor condition. Some of you more so than others. But none have been spared from the flames, as it were. Do any of you bother to speak amongst yourselves as you make the long road home, or do you save your words for once you have found safety within the confines of your tomb?
Do you reckon he meant by consider this a warning? I'll say it like the others.
Nesra will be completely silent the whole way home. All the way to the tomb.
What about
Ooh.
Thomas?
Thomas,
He's in a similar boat.
what are you thinking of this? Oh, you're saying quiet as well. A very
He's fuming though.
very
He's so angry that he more or less had to run away. But he's stewing. He's kind of trying to, what do you call it? He's trying to I guess sort through it in his head.
yeah.
Seeing the downed mood of Nesret and the steaming Thomas, she'll kind of change course there then, and it's like we'll put a hand on Thomas's shoulder. There, Thomas. Our enemies are trapped in a burning building, most likely dead at this point now.
Oh, Nesret's pissed off, not like sad.
No, I was talking about Thomas. He's pissed off.
Yeah.
Trying
Thomas
to lighten the mood with, yeah, they're dead.
At least they're
Thomas
dead,
growled.
right?
We got what we wanted. Sure, we got a bit burned, but I'd say we came on top.
Something tells me this isn't over.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there are more of them out there. And when it comes to that, we'll kill them too.
I wonder who the masked man was.
What is You also, I should say, how do I put this? In the line of this, I guess, conversation here, I'm curious on your thoughts, whether or not you deign to share them with the Moret. But what did you think of the masked man and the events of the night? It didn't seem like he was particularly going out of his way to, I guess, actively murder you. I mean, yes, he was setting the structure on fire, but there wasn't so much of a determined attempt, I guess, on your lives. You know, he spent half the time just kind of ambling about, setting the place ablaze. You know, he got that torch in hand. He could have just been swinging that at the lot of you the entire time. And
Something tells me he doesn't quite isn't so concerned about mortality. Maybe he had an escape option that we just weren't seeing.
Well, nonetheless, as you consider all the strange events of the night, after a long and somewhat awkward trip, you once again find yourselves within the comfort, the sanctity of your tomb, with the White Jackal's chest in tow. It's late at night at this point. You can see that Father Vitatsi is sleeping. The old man is fast asleep at this point. But Mao kind of perks up as the lot of you make your way into the structure. The cat kind of perks up slightly, but doesn't quite leave the comfort of its spot on the floor, but does keep, shall we say, a watchful eye, an interested eye on a lot of you as you haul the chest into the dilapidated manor that sits above your tomb. What do the three of you do now once you've made it here? What do you do? What words do you share amongst each other?
Let's take a moment and rest, and I suppose in the morning we can deliver our chest to the White Jackal. Unless any of you have any ideas?
There is
Almost shakes his head.
There is something else that you managed to grab aside from the chest.
Oh
yeah. If you remember, Nesret, there were a set of documents that had been laid out on the table in the secret chamber within the crypt. Documents that you had stashed on your person before, you know, that whole stabbing endeavor in the flames. And luckily, they're still relatively intact, contained within your pocket, perhaps a bit sooty. Maybe some of them are a little bit singed on the edges, but otherwise mostly intact. Nonetheless, there, yes, I suggested you might rest for the night and recuperate, or whatever it is you desire to do.
Yeah, actually, Sisette would like to see those documents, but unless Nesret, I don't think I know about them, right?
No, because you weren't in the room at the time. You were busy searching for
traps.
The traps, yes. After.
And I found it.
Yeah, you sure did.
Too late though.
But yeah. So what's everyone doing in this?
Yeah.
Is everyone?
Is Nesret gonna share the documents
Or is
tonight?
or is that something for morning you to handle?
That's something for me to go to my own chamber and read myself.
What?
Ah,
Of
yes.
course.
Secrets and lies, even between your own. There was some mention of truth hidden. So you've had these documents stashed on you, that you grabbed while everyone else was investigating the noise, as it were. So you head off to your own personal tomb to pore over these. And Seshet and Tomos, I'm guessing, are
I'll go.
resting.
I'll go meditate. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay, so you guys meditating for willpower or pillar points?
I'm meditating
Pillar
for pillar
point.
points, and I don't
Pillar
think you
points.
meditate for willpower.
Well,
Yeah, you can.
sleep, meditate.
Oh, sleep. Okay.
Yeah.
Who sleeps in this day and age?
I mean, you don't
Well,
technically
I'm
have
going for pillar points.
as a deathless, you don't technically have to sleep. You could just meditate for the 7 hours, but
Yeah. And then, I guess we split up the pillar point from the relic. One each, right?
you certainly can if you want. Just
Yeah.
split it across the board. Is that something you guys want to do?
Yeah, I
One-
need pillar points.
All right.
Kiss it.
What was that?
Never mind.
Okay, but all you were pulling a point out of the
Yeah.
out of the
Yeah.
life web. Okay.
Yep.
And once again, as you guys pull these the energies out of your life web,
More screen.
each of you again are haunted by these ghastly voices. Though you're noticing a trend now. These voices, once they were almost ethereal, ephemeral. You could just barely hear them at the edge of your perception. You almost weren't sure if they were real or imagined. But the voices have been growing louder. And the voices, they're becoming more distorted. They sound less and less human now. It's you're not quite sure if it's somewhere between a man and or if it's some kind of animal wailing and screaming. But it is, you notice again, it's becoming progressively more inhuman, more and more alien, as the voices, as the cacophony grows louder and more chaotic. But again, a problem perhaps for future you.
Yeah, future me problem.
Yeah,
I can handle it.
nothing to be concerned about. And you each pull your pillar points. Seshet and Thomas, why don't you guys go ahead and roll for the meditation if you haven't already. And while you guys are doing that, let's cut to Threat, who's got the documents in hand. And you retreat to your personal chamber. You kind of spread them out, attempt to, salvage them as best you can. You brush away the little burnt bits around the edges, kind of lay them out in your personal chamber within the tomb. And again, it's a mix. One set of documents appears to be written at length, in a mixture of scripts, one being seemingly Aramite, and the other, as best as you can tell, some archaic form of Greek, though these symbols are are intermingled together, sort of a fusion of the two. But even the bits that you can kind of, I don't want to say make out. I mean, you can make out all of it, but the bits of eremite that you do see don't seem to form any coherent words, as it were. It almost appears to be, it's like it's all gibberish, but it's clearly written out something. The other set of documents that you have, rather papers, parchment, don't appear to have, shall we say, writing, or at least the same script upon them. No, they're more smudged, and there's like a kind of charcoal-like residue on them. And as you kind of lay them out and examine them, it doesn't take you long to realize what they are. They look to be rubbings. Someone, at least those that you can see here, are kind of incomplete, shall we say, failed attempts, like the discarded bits of the process. But it's enough to give you the implication that whoever broke the seal on that chest, they already have the information that they needed from it. They've presumably already copied the information. They've used the charcoal to make copies of sorts, rubbings of these tablets. Regardless, what do you do with this information? Do you try and make an attempt at deciphering this strange script? Do you, actually, better question, do you speak Greek?
What have we been speaking this entire time?
Because let's see here.
Like, we're in Greece, so I thought...
Take that back. Yes, you would have had that for free. But because I think, what was it? You took Latin as well.
I have Latin and Coptic.
Yeah. So, with that, Greek's probably a little, shall we say, difficult for you. You're not perhaps the most fluent in it. Especially what appears to be a kind of archaic, modified script. But you can certainly take a stab at trying to decipher this if you want, which would be intelligence and enigmas, though given the state of affairs, it's a rather arduous task, and an extended one at that. A -5 penalty trying to decipher this cryptic shorthand of Remite and ancient Greek. Do you want to burn the midnight oil trying to decipher these, or do you kind of put this on hold and take a well-deserved rest? What is drawing? It's right here.
Checking software.
What are you checking?
What's a blessed action again?
Blessed
Oh, you get to
gives
roll
you-
twice and take the better
Yeah.
of the two rolls.
Yeah, roll twice. Take the better of the two.
I'll roll for it, and I will use a willpower to +3 it.
Okay. So it would be a total penalty of -2.
-2. Why didn't my skills reset? It's 2. 3 successes.
Oh, solid.
Don't forget to roll again.
Are you taking the blessed action on this?
Okay.
No,
Oh,
no, I
just
did
the
plus-
willpower.
I took a, yeah, I took a +3 to do that instead of making a blessed action.
Okay, so you make 3 successes on this. You kind of burn the midnight oil, as it were, attempting to crack this cipher, and you start to make some progress. A few words here and there, but the full, shall we say, context of the text is still obscured to you. But of what you do find, there's something interesting amongst the cryptic texts. There's a mention, from the best of your understanding, they appear to be searching for something called the Ashen Reliquary. And with that mysterious revelation, whatever this item could be, we shall find out. Later, perhaps on the next session here of Oceans of Eternity. So, wrapping things up here, thank you everyone for watching. Glad to have you here, whether you're returning or just tuning in for the first time. Thanks to you guys, my players, for joining me on this another session of this chronicle. And while we're on the subject of you guys, how are you guys doing, and what's going on in your characters' heads after the events of this fateful night?
A little burnt.
Literally.
Yeah. Things didn't go the way like Sosette wanted them to go through today. She didn't like being put into a trap. And she didn't quite like how unreasonable that this man was that they met.
All right. Zablucer Prez.
I'm doing good. Nesseret, I just imagine, is just pissed off about how this whole thing's gone.
Seething,
And
man.
he's going to let the White Jackal know when he next sees him.
Oh,
That's for sure.
all right. You got some choice words for our patron here. Be interested to hear them
I gotta
next
get
time.
that pillar back.
Yeah, you're really gonna let him have it. Well, we'll see. Okay. Prez, same to you.
I'm personally doing good. Thomas is smoldering. He has
Literally and figuratively.
yeah. He's I can't remember exactly what his burden was, but I know resentment. That's what it was. Yeah, he's very much thinking about all the ways he's going to make this mysterious arsonist pay. And he's just very angry that he was forced to beat a retreat instead of finishing him off.
Yeah.
He died in there. Like the whole thing collapsed on him.
Yeah, does that bring you some comfort?
Are you gonna try to bring him back to life just to punish him?
Yeah.
He gets the impression maybe that's not the last time he's seen them, but
I mean,
also
he very well
even
could
if
have
it is,
just walked out of the building. They
And in
very
addition,
well
even
could have
if it-
followed you.
even if it was, he definitely would want to go after whoever sent him at the Moret, at his Moret. Yeah, he does not take kindly to being
Targeted.
targeted, humiliated, things like that.
Defeat is not a taste you are accustomed to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that.
Say we came off on the better of them. Like we got the box.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
guys keep saying defeat for?
Yeah. I mean.
It might be. It's
Walked
maybe
out
less
the-
actual
walking-
defeat.
Yeah. A complicated
Maybe less
victory.
I think it's just Thomas would have preferred to have destroyed them with his own
Yes.
hands and then walked out.
You wanted a decisive victory, is what you're
Yes.
saying.
Yeah.
A
Yes,
resounding
essentially.
and decisive victory was not today. Instead,
Yeah.
you are left burnt and broken, but at least you have the goods in hand. Well, on that note, thanks again for joining me today, and thanks again to our viewers. Lastly, some shout outs, some things to check out here, some plugs for Onyx Path here. They have some great stuff going on. At the last Friday of the month here is the Onyx Path game night, so check that out if you haven't already. They're running all sorts of games all across the different Onyx Path game lines. So if you were interested in trying a game like Mummy or one of the other Onyx Path game lines, plenty of options there to go check out. Lastly, there is also a crowdfunding campaign going on for the Trinity Continuum Player's Guide on Backer kit. I believe, let me see, as of right now, they're at 35-ish K out of their 15K goal, with six days left to spare. So if that's something that interests you, if you want to go check out Trinity, feel free to back that backer kit and help them unlock some more stretch goals there. Once again, thanks to Onyx Path for hosting us, and thanks to Tabletop Audio for the background music today. And finally, thanks again for all of you tuning in. We hope to see you guys on the next episode. So until then, take care, and we hope to see all of you guys soon.